Hi everyone, it's Sarah from Sleeping is for Losers. It's been like forever and a day since I've made a video, but I've been like waist deep. I think the saying is knee deep, but I've been waist deep in the planning process for 2017, and that's what our video is going to be about today, is getting together a plan for 2017. So before we even start talking about that, there's a weird light that's kind of making my face look red, so I don't have a sunburn, trust me, it's like a blizzard outside. Question. Have you created a plan or path of success for 2017 for your blog, for your business, whether that's online or brick and mortar? If the answer is no, then you need to get started now. December is the perfect time to really take a good hard look at 2016 and decide what worked, what didn't work, and where you're going to go, what you want to achieve in 2017. And I know, as someone who has blogged since 2009, that if you do not have a blog plan, and I'm not talking about writing out all your content for the year, but if you don't have a plan where you want to go, how many sponsorships you want to achieve, how many new relationships you want to make, what kind of readership you want to grow. If you don't have a plan for that, guess what? It's not going to happen, because no longer is the online world a set it and forget it world. It would be so amazing if it was. Like, there was a time, believe me, back in 2009, you could put up a new blog post and you would get great traffic and you wouldn't have to do anything to promote it. That just doesn't work anymore. It doesn't exist, and it's the same for businesses. It is no longer a create it and they will come. You have got to tell people about what you have created over and over and over and over again. But you have to do it in a way that works really well for you and what you've created. And that's what this planning idea is all about. In 2017, let's say you want to have 100,000 people visit your blog each month. That's a really big goal. Let's say that's what your goal is. You really need to sit down and think about the time, effort, and steps that would go into achieving that goal. That's at least 2 hours a day, minimum 2 hours a day, to put into promotion, conversations, engagement, to get those kind of numbers on your blog. Are you prepared to do that every single day? Do you have 2 hours every single day? That's part of the planning process, and that's something that you need to start focusing on now. You also need to look back at your traffic and decide, where were people coming from? Where are my efforts best spent? For me personally, when I was doing this process, I realized that I get a ton of traffic from Facebook and Instagram, and a somewhat decent amount of traffic from Twitter. But those are my main three. And there are people who tell me all about all these other social media platforms and search engines where they get tons and tons of traffic from, and I think that's great. But I know for me, I get thousands and thousands of hits each month just from Facebook. So part of my 2017 plan is to focus on Facebook. Focus on how I can grow my Facebook community, where I can reach out. Are there other groups where I can meet people who would be interested in the kind of content that I write? I want you to do the same. Take a good hard look. You might love a certain platform. You might love a certain type of social media, but if it's not bringing you the customers or the traffic or what have you that you want, you need to let it go. And you need to put your efforts into what you know is working. The second thing that I really want you to focus on is a big lofty goal that you are going to create for yourself and then you're actually going to achieve. So for myself, I have given myself the big lofty goal of creating and selling an ebook, and that ebook is going to be for bloggers, and it's going to be all about how to approach brands directly, work with sponsors directly, and also how to create contests that convert people from just someone who entered a contest to an actual reader of your blog. So that's a big lofty goal for me because I have never created something and sold it. That's huge. I can't even believe that I'm thinking of doing it, but I'm saying it out loud so that I actually force myself to do it. But I want you to think of the same. And even if you're not a blogger, you can think of the same thing. What is one or two kind of scary, big, but potentially amazing things that you can do to boost traffic, boost customers, boost sales, and really improve what you already have in 2017. You're going to see, if you've followed me for any amount of time, you're going to see Sleepiness for Losers definitely making some changes. You might have already noticed I have a brand new website. I've been kind of changing the way I engage through Sleepiness for Losers. And I've also been changing some of my content because, when I started the blog, my kids were super young and I just wrote about, anything that came into my head because, man, I was struggling as a brand new mom. But my kids are a little bit older now. They're 7 and 5. I don't struggle in the same ways. I still struggle, but I don't struggle in the same ways that I did when I started the blog. And so as much as I love writing parenting content and am going to continue doing that, I'm also noticing that people are coming to me and asking questions about blogging. How do you start a blog? Why did you start a blog? How do you actually make money on a blog? Is it something I can do as well? And so the more I've looked into this and the more I've met different bloggers, especially ones who are just starting out, I've realized that there's such a big, strong need out there for true advice. Not crap advice, not advice that people sell because it looks really good and it makes them lots of money, but real, true blogging advice. So another goal that I have for Sleepiness for Losers in 2017 is to create it into a dual platform. One where I talk about, parenting and the struggles that I have just as a parent, and two, where I talk about blogging and how you can actually succeed and make a living, make real money in the blogging world with some no BS strategies, ones that I know work because I implement them and use them every day. And yes, I make a living off my blog. So, rambling on now about myself, but let's get back to you and the idea of setting goals. You've heard all about my goals. Some of them are big and lofty. Some of them are very scary. Some of them are a little smaller and maybe achievable. But that's the kind of goals I have for 2017, and that's what I've been knee-deep in planning. And you should see I have an entire notebook. It's actually sitting right here. I have an entire notebook full of strategies and plans and step-by-steps to achieve my goals. You need to be doing the same. So if you need help, I did create something called the Mom Blog Planathon. And if you're not a mom blogger, it's absolutely useful for you, and it actually is just what I titled it. I probably should have just entitled it the Blog Planathon. But it's a 5-day free course that you can take just to really get you thinking about and strategizing about how you're going to crush 2017. I'd love for you to join. I'll leave the link below. But if you have very specific questions, if you have ideas, if you're a business, you've been thinking about starting a blog, maybe to assist your business, if you're a blogger and you're thinking about giving up because you're just not seeing any successes, if you're thinking about any kind of online or creative entrepreneurship, I'd love for you to reach out. You can give me a shout. I'm always reachable by email, sarah@sleepinessforlosers.com, because you know what I've learned the most and probably the biggest lesson I have to take away from my 7+ years of blogging? You can't be an island. You have to reach out. You have to ask for help from other people. You have to engage and create relationships, and it's the only way that you'll, number one, grow, but stay in the game as well. So, long video. Oh my goodness, I can't believe how long I've been talking for. And my 7-year-old is sitting on the bed begging me to use my phone. So I'm going to let him use it. But you guys, 2017 is going to be a real game changer in a lot of ways. And I'm going to talk about that probably in my next video. Some of my predictions for blogging in 2017. But before I get to that, I want you to start to plan. Don't be afraid to plan. Don't be afraid to let go of things that didn't work in 2016. Don't be afraid to set lofty goals and try new things for 2017. So there's my pep talk for you. Until next time.